Now, the first thing here is I see a lot of the energy from your love sector kind of smearing into other areas of your life, okay? So try your best to compartmentalize, leave, when you go to work, leave your worries, your problems at home, okay? And especially, try not to, get involved in office gossip and especially revealing what's happening in your love life to coworkers and supervisors and things like that. Because I feel like the blurring of boundaries and the blurring of lines, this definitely can be other people doing that to you. And I definitely see like office romance as well for some of you, where you're kind of, you're trying to keep things hidden. Okay. It can be very exciting because there's an element of tabooness associated with it. But at the same time, I feel like it might interfere with your productivity. It might interfere with your work. And so just, try to compartmentalize and keep things separate. Okay. So let me talk to you about your partner. And this person, it kind of worries me actually, because this person has been showing up multiple weeks already. We have here the Queen of Swords. And if you don't remember, this is like 3 weeks ago, this person showed up. Last week, this person showed up. Okay, so I'm going to pull out a card to clarify first before I go further. So tell me more about this person. How does this person feel? So let me talk about this person. And if it sounds like the person you're dealing with, then you can continue watching. If not, then you can move on. Okay. I have here an air sign, so Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra. This person is associated with these two other cards. And I have here the Four of Swords, as well as the Six of Pentacles. I feel like this person is really kind, okay? They're very, very generous. They're very willing to help. They're very adaptable. And their energy is, it's like they'll help anybody. They're not just, they don't discriminate. And I also feel like, in a way, a lot of the things that they do perplexes you, Taurus. Okay. And I feel like this person is very, very, very attractive. Okay. So like, they're attractive. They know they're attractive, but they're not arrogant and boastful. And a lot of the times too, like, you can meet somebody who's really attractive and they're so arrogant, right? Like they expect like, the world to kind of grovel at their feet. And they expect, for example, if you have a guy that's really, attractive, or a woman that's really attractive, they expect other people to kind of, bend over backwards for them. And they expect things to come so easily to them. This is not the person that is like that. And I feel like that's why you're really attracted to this person. Not only because they're good looking, but because they have a really good heart. They're very kind to everybody. They're very generous with their love, with their time, with their resources. And I also feel like they have stopped communicating with you. And the reason I say that is we have here the Six of Pentacles. This is generosity and kindness. And we have here the Four of Swords, which is taking a break. And so I feel like they're withdrawing. And when an air sign withdraws, you feel the chill in the air. Okay. When their presence is no longer felt around you, when they stop communicating with you, or when they have withdrawn their feelings, it feels icy and cold and uncomfortable. And as an earth sign, you're going to feel it. Like there's this chill in the air. Like it's cold in here. Okay. This is your energy very much about, wanting to communicate with the other person. Do you want to go get coffee? Do you want to go out? Do you want to come over and play? Do you want to watch a movie? Like wanting to make a connection with another person. So this is you trying to reach out, trying to make that connection, trying to warm up the other person. And I feel like it's being met with resistance. And for whatever reason, I feel like, it's a continuation of last week, where there was a separation. Somebody was physically withdrawing, or there was a physical, emotional separation between you and another person. And I feel like as a result of it, you're feeling this chill in the air, and you're trying to get them back. You're trying to draw them back in. And I feel like, it starts out in a very lighthearted way. But the other person also feel that you're very flirtatious, and you might say a lot of things that you don't mean, and you make light of situations. They're a very serious person. Whatever they say, there's a reason why they say it. It's not for fun and games. And I feel like they think you might be a little bit too hot-headed, and which is weird because you guys are not hot-headed. But who knows? They think that you're not reliable, and they think that you say things that you don't mean. And then I see you as well trying to make the connection with the other person, trying to send the messages, trying to keep that connection alive. And they feel like emotionally you're very, very destabilized. Emotionally, you're very confused. And I feel as well, the Two of Pentacles, like juggling two options, juggling two people, trying to make something work, but like you're not on solid footing. And emotionally, you might be just all over the place because this person is not responding in the manner that you'd hope. Okay. And the fact that, this person has been around in the reading for the past few weeks indicates to me that their presence is really, really strong around you. It's like their presence is so strong that if you're not getting the communication from them, that's why it's destabilizing other areas of your life. And so in terms of the outcome in this situation, I have here the Two of Pentacles, juggling two relationships, and the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords is sneaky behavior. This is sort of like doing things that are not out in the open, having some type of a clandestine interaction, affair, love relationship, or communication where things are not out in the open. No one really knows about it. So I feel like there is heavy work related energy where you might be seeing somebody at work. You might be interested in them. There might be, the flirtation and things like that. But I definitely feel like someone has gotten really cold. And I feel there were like, it started out very playful, but for whatever reason, it crossed the line. So the two of you might have been intimate with each other, and now things are really awkward. That's what it feels like to me. And at the same time, I feel like they're holding back their communication on purpose, because I feel there's an element of them not trusting you. And they're also holding back the communication. Like they're getting the communication. I mean, the swords are puncturing through this cave, but they're trying to avoid it. They're trying to avoid escalating things to that next level. Okay? So because of that, we have the rest of your reading here, which deals with a process where I feel like you're doing some major reassessment. Were my words too harsh? Was I being fair? Was I being mean? Was I operating, from a space of high vibration, or was I being petty and insecure? Did I say, did I overstep my boundaries when it comes to communication? And I feel like this is something that's playing out in all areas of your life, but the communication is heavily, heavily emphasized in this spread here, where I feel like you have a really good sense of humor. Most Taurian people, male and females, you guys are really witty, and you guys have a really dry sense of humor, which I appreciate. But I feel like if you're dealing with someone who's very, very delicate, and keep in mind, this is somebody who's very delicate. Okay, they've been hurt many times before, and they put up this steely, frozen exterior, but deep down, they're very, very sensitive. And I feel like you're running back through time, like trying to figure out, why are they withdrawing? I see you, this person aside, okay? I see you just reassessing reassessing like the way you communicate, reassessing, am I getting my message across? Reassessing, do I need to dumb down my language, my vocabulary, my skills and my expertise in order to cater to the lay person? I feel that element coming through. Not that you're better than anybody, but I feel like you're trying to get something off the ground. You're trying to get people on board and you're trying to help other people. So you might be in a position where you're teaching, you're giving out advice, you're giving people physical things to help themselves. You're trying to, alleviate the situation for a group of people. But if the messages are not getting through to them, if they're only there to take what you give without, the knowledge that it requires, then they're not going to be able to succeed, right? So I feel like there's an element here about, I'm going to give you this, but in return, you have to do these things. So learning to kind of like, in the work front, give with strings attached, and that can also be, I'm going to teach you how to do this, but I'm going to watch how you do it just to make sure that you understand fully and you can comprehend and you can replicate it when I'm not around. So there's an element about you being a little bit more of a micromanager. So just to make sure that they're getting what you're trying to convey to them, and then they're able to do it when you're not around so that you don't need to monitor them obsessively, okay? I feel like there is a major breakthrough here when it comes to your communication, realizing times where you might have been too harsh, as well as kind of like putting yourself in another person's shoes to really figure out, what are some of the obstacles and barriers I have when it comes to communication, in the spirit of wanting to better yourself and also in the spirit of understanding, which is actually I feel like it's a really humbling experience for a fixed sign such as yourself to do, for anybody to do, but more so for a fixed sign, especially the most stubborn. Well, Aquarius and Scorpios are very stubborn as well. So I feel like it's just a humbling experience where you are, reassessing. You're reassessing, like, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was too harsh. Maybe it was a specific way and then I misinterpreted it and I took it to mean something else and I got upset and I got angry. So I feel like you're toning things down. You're either dumbing things down for other people so that they get it, or you're toning things down and you're being a little bit more serious minded about how your actions could affect other people and how the things that you do and it's like you're being more cognizant of your communication style and your actions and trying to match up the two so that the two are consistent. So I feel like somebody might have told you, your actions and your words don't match up. I don't trust you. And then I feel like you might have taken that and expanded that into other areas of your life too, and really try to figure out, where have I been inconsistent? Let me fix that. We're escalating here from the Six of Pentacles to the Seven of Pentacles. So I feel like it's a learning process. The Six deals with the physical and the Seven deals with the spiritual. So it's like taking a stance and not being so defensive and, really looking at a situation and looking at what someone is pointing out to you. It's a painful process when we have to look at things about ourselves that other people find faults in, right? So I feel like that's where the pain could potentially come from. Having to admit things about ourselves that we're not really proud of. But then with the knowledge comes, the ability to change and the ability to kind of like see ourselves from other people's perspective so that we can make the necessary changes, okay? So I'm really proud of you guys for doing this. I feel like it's a little bit of an uncomfortable week, but it's going to have a good resolution, okay?